Page number 493.
Good.
There was an ardor in the gaze of life that saw heaven blue in the grey air of night. The impulses Godward soared on passion's wings.
Well,
Minds quick-paced.
okay, a couple of things here.
Yeah,
The reading of that line, that saw heaven blue in the gray air of night. So even in the gray air of night, they see that heaven is blue.
yeah.
Got the difference? Good,
Yes, I got it.
good. And
Minds
then
quick-paced.
go ahead.
Minds quick-paced thoughts floated from their necks, a
From their
glowing
high, no, no,
splendor
no, 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 from
from
their
their high
high,
necks.
gotta read slower.
Minds quick-paced thoughts floated from their high necks, a glowing splendor as of an
I,
I, uh, irised maid,
iris,
irised
a,
maid, a glowing
a,
splendor
as of,
as of an irised maid, a parure of pure intuition's light, its flame-foot gallop they could imitate. Minds' voices mimicked inspiration's stress, its ictus of
it,
infallibility, its speed and lightning heaven leap of the gods.
yeah, some
There are many
difficult word.
words which I do not know here.
Yeah, understand. Yeah, well, initially I had to look up many too. So this gaze of life that has such passion in it, such fervor, such eagerness, such enthusiasm, it can even see a blue heaven in the gray air of night. And these impulses are soaring Godward, but they're soaring Godward on passion's wings.
Hmm.
Now, he's giving us an image almost of a bird here. Mind's quick-paced thoughts floated from their high necks, and or even a horse, because a mane is, you know what a mane is of a horse. I was saying that these high necks and this irised
Okay.
mane is almost the image of a horse,
Okay.
or you know, the horse god, the what is it, Pegasus? Remember
Okay.
Pegasus? Okay,
Yes.
so the impulse of soaring Godward on passion's wings, and mind's thoughts are floating from their high necks. So we have the necks, we have the impulses soaring above, and we have a glowing splendor as of an iris mane. So the mane is the hairs on the horse's
Yeah.
neck,
Yeah.
and a parure of pure
Parur.
intuition's light. A parure is a set of matched jewelry. So you might
Okay.
have,
Set
you
of
might,
matched jewelry.
yes. So you have two earrings that were identical.
Yeah.
Good. So now we see that it is really the image of a horse because we see its flame foot gallop they could imitate. So all of this is the image of a horse soaring high. So mind's voices mimicked inspiration's stress. So we see here that mind doesn't really have inspiration in this in this realm of the inner countries. It just
Mm.
mimics the stress of inspiration. And
Huh.
it's ictus of infallibility. And ictus is actually a stroke or a beat in music. It's
Okay.
actually even in poetry, it's the stress or the accent marking the rhythm. Da 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 da
Okay.
da 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 da.
Got it.
It's ictus of infallibility. It's speed
And
and lightning.
infallibility is?
Oh, if you're infallible, you can't make any mistakes.
Okay.
You're free. You're free from making mistakes. If you're fallible,
Okay.
then you're open to making errors. If you're
Okay.
infallible, the in Rome, the Pope is said to be infallible when he speaks on two subjects. In other words,
Okay.
impossible for him to make a mistake.
Understood.
So I'm going to continue. There's very interesting words here. Entrenchant.
Yes, we have done. No, we have done God. We have not done gods.
Okay, then I think we should do them.
Okay.
We
The
have
gods
time.
are the gods are Brahman representing itself in cosmic personalities expressive of the one Godhead who, in their impersonal action, appear as the various play of the principle of nature. The gods are the great undying powers and immortal personalities who consciously inform, constitute, preside over the subjective and objective forces of the cosmos.
Well, that's very
The god.
clear. These gods,
Yes,
they can help us. They can hinder us also, but mostly they're there to help.
yes,
Each one has a certain power,
yeah,
and one can appeal to that power.
yeah,
But basically, they're still Brahman,
yeah,
just spreading himself out.
yes. The
Okay,
gods
Karen.
are personalities and powers of the dynamic divine. The gods, as has already been said, are in the origin and essence permanent emanations of the divine, put forth from the Supreme by the transcendent Mother, the Adya Shakti. In their cosmic action, they are powers and personalities of the divine, each with his independent cosmic standing, function, and work in the universe. They are not impersonal entities, but cosmic personalities, although they can and do ordinary veil them or sorry again, they are
Ordinarily,
not they are not impersonal entities but cosmic personalities, although they can and do ordinarily veil themselves behind the movement of impersonal forces. Of course,
so
yeah,
we can appeal to the gods,
yeah,
and then they do appear as cosmic personalities.
yeah,
Sometimes they veil themselves, but sometimes they're also very clear to us.
yes.
Okay,
Of course, the gods exist. That is to say, they are powers that stand above the world and transmit the divine workings. It is the physical mind which believes only what is physical that denies them. They are also beings of other worlds, gods and asuras, etc.
there are,
There are, yeah,
not
there are,
they are. Yeah.
yeah, there are,
So they're from other worlds very often,
yeah.
and they may be gods or asuras.
The gods, who in their highest secret entity are powers of the supermind, born of it, seated in it as in their proper home, are in their knowledge, truth conscious, and in their action possessed of the seer will, the divine life.
Yes, very, very powerful because they actually are powers of the supermind. When those powers descend from the supermind, they become more and more limited. As they enter mind, they're a little limited. As they enter the lower areas of mind into the vital, they're more limited. And finally, into the body, they are much more limited. But they are still gods, and they still carry the supermind within them because they are born of it, and it's their proper home. Now, truth conscious, Sri Aurobindo often uses that for the supermind. He also calls it the gnosis. He also calls it the real idea, because he didn't like to use supermind so much because of Nietzsche. Because Nietzsche's supermind is just the aggrandizement of the mental man who wants to control everything and step on everyone. So many times Sri Aurobindo uses synonyms for supermind: gnosis,
Okay.
real, and real idea. Okay, carry on.
The gods are the powers of light, the children of infinity, forms and personalities of the one Godhead, who by their help and by their growth and human workings in man raise him to the truth and the immortality.
So the gods can do a lot to help man. We see that.
Uh, yeah. Narad, did you say Sri Aurobindo uses gnosis as a synonym to
Supermind, divine gnosis, yes.
supermind? Okay.
He calls
Because
it.
I often read that word in synthesis of yoga, and many times I've not really got it, but now it makes sense. So he's using it as a synonym to supermind.
Yeah,
Okay.
divine gnosis, yes. And also real idea, real hyphen idea.
So I go back to Savitri.
Yeah, yes.
A trenchant blade that shore the nets of doubt, its sword of discernment
No,
seemed
okay. Sword. You don't pronounce the
sword,
W. No, no W.
sword,
Sword.
sword.
Sword. The
The,
sword that
its so
cuts through.
its sword of discernment seemed almost divine.
Well,
Yet, yeah,
yeah, trenchant is sharp, a very
yeah,
sharp blade. Now, when you shore something, especially these nets of doubt, but any kind of thing, you cut through it very strongly. That means that's what shore means, to shore something.
mm,
Has nothing to do with the sea. So it's a very sharp blade that cuts through the nets of doubt.
mm.
I'm not feeling that you have it yet.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, okay, good. And
No, it's
then
that I'm having
he
a
continues with
leaky
that
nose,
image of
so
the sharp blade. Ah, okay, okay. So its sword of discernment seemed almost divine. Now, discernment
yeah,
is keen perception,
yeah.
acuteness of judgment, discrimination.
What did you say? Acute?
I said acute judgment.
Acute judgment. Okay.
Acute judgment, yeah. So we see that this sword of discernment seemed almost divine, but it wasn't. And he
Yeah.
will tell us that in the next line.
Yet all that knowledge was a borrowed sun's. The forms that came were not heaven's native birds,
Oh,
and inner voice could speak the unreal word. Its puissance dangerous and
Puis,
absolute. Could be
okay. Puissant,
puissant, puis,
French word.
oh,
Puissant,
okay,
yeah.
puissance. We've actually read this word before, but
Yes, we have, but
oh,
it's
I,
not an
I
easy
understand.
word. Not
Puissance,
an
dangerous and absolute. Could mingle poison with the wine of God.
Okay, so we have to go through that now. We have to remember where we are. We're in the book of yoga. We're in the entries into the
Yeah,
inner countries, and we're seeing that all the knowledge
yeah,
they have in this inner country was simply a borrowed
yeah.
knowledge. And the forms that came
Uh-huh.
were not the native births of heaven. They were not the native births of heaven.
Mm,
Even an inner
okay.
voice could speak the unreal's word. See, even an inner voice could speak that. Have we done word? Have we defined word?
Huh.
Have we defined word?
I'll check.
Okay, because it's important.
Yes, we have done word.
Good. So then we have this inner voice that can speak the word of the unreal, not the real word. And it's
Huh.
puissance.
Huh.
That's its puissance is power or might. It's puissance, which is dangerous and absolute, could mix poison with the wine of God. Wow.
Hmm.
We're beginning to see how dangerous this world actually is.
Yeah. So Narad is like every sentence where he's bringing a full stop. Is he moving from one world to another?
No, he's moving from one image to another of a particular
One
world.
image to another. So
And
it's not like
yeah,
one
and this
one
world
inner
is the
country to
inner
another country.
countries. And we're just no, no. It's all that one inner country, but it's just the entry into it. We haven't gotten very far into it yet.
Okay.
I mean, we have, but we haven't.
Okay. Okay.
So, um, yeah, we have a few minutes yet. You could do a little. So its puissance, which is its power, is dangerous, and it's even absolute at times, because there are many people who fall for false gods.
Yeah.
So we see that this in this world, this power could mingle poison with the wine of God.
There was an ardor in the gaze of life that saw heaven blue in the grey air of night. The impulses Godward soared on passion's wings. Minds quick-paced thoughts floated from their high necks, a growing splendor as of an irised mane, a parure of pure intuition's light. Its flame-foot gallop they could imitate. Mind's voices mimicked inspiration's stress, its ictus of infallibility, its speed and lightning heaven leap of the gods. A trenchant blade that shore the nets of doubt, its sword of discernment seemed
So,
almost divine. Sword.
sword is correct.
Yet
You got it.
all that Yet all that knowledge was a borrowed son's. The form the forms that came were not heaven's native births. An inner voice could speak the unreal's word. a puissance dangerous and absolute, could mingle poison with the wine of God.
Very good. Now you rest up, be well.
Yes,
We'll meet again
thank
on
you.
Monday.
Monday. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Narad.
namaste.
Namaste.
You're welcome.
Bye. Good night.